everyone. Today I'd like to share with you how to create these 2 Christmas cards. They use a variety of stamps, punches, pattern papers. They're simple to make and lots of fun to create at the same time. We'll learn some techniques which are the same on both cards, and you can use many different supplies that you might have at your home to create a really nice Christmas card for someone. For our cards that we're going to create today, I've used some punches and stamps from Stampin' Up, papers and the card from Clever Patch, and the papers also are from Clever Patch, plus some plain cardstock, an old stamp that I have, I think it's a Kaisercraft stamp, and some Fiskars punches as well. I will have a list of the supplies on my blog and also at the end of this tutorial. So we're going to start with this card and then we'll start with the green card. So first of all, for this card you will need a card base, and the card base that I'm using is from Clever Patch and it's a pre-made one. It's already cut and scored, which I'm going to do. For this particular card, I've used a lot of reds, a lot of patterns and stamps that match. So to start off with, there are different layers, and the first layer that we have is called a mat, and the mat that we're going to use is this red mat, and that mat is 14.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and that goes on the card first. After that we have our second mat, which is the pattern mat, and that mat is 14 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters, and you can see that it leaves a nice border around the edges. After that we've got these strips. The first strip is a plain white strip. We're going to use a border punch to create the scallop at the bottom, which goes here. This strip is 14.5 centimeters by 3 centimeters. This strip comes in the pack, and the strips look like this, and you can see that there's quite a number of designs to choose from. I've cut the strip so that it measures 14.5 centimeters. What I'm going to do now is show you how to use a border punch to create that scalloped edge. This is the punch that I'm going to use, and you can see that on the punch there is the design, and that helps you to line up the paper so that you create an even punched design. To do that, what you do is get your white cardstock, place it inside the punch and push it against the edge and just press down. You can see that it creates this punch. To continue the punch along, I'm going to slide the punch across, the punched paper across, and I'm lining it up so that I can see the design coming through. When I'm happy that it's perfectly lined, I press down on the punch again and slide it across, and I keep doing that until I finish that one side, like so. To create the other side, I simply place it inside my punch and slide it along the other side, lining it up just as before, and when I'm happy that everything lines up, press down and punch. I've missed a bit there, but that's alright, so I just slide it back in and line it up once more. When I'm happy, then I press down and punch. And there you go, it's all done. You can take that and put that to one side. Now I'm going to start putting parts of my card together, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some stamping. I have this nice stamp set, and it has different baubles and my Merry Christmas, and I'm going to use a red ink to stamp my designs. So first of all, for my sample I used this design, which is right here, Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my stamp. Check that it's inked on the back and press it down onto my cardstock. Just pressing it down and pressing firmly, I'm not rocking it, and then lift it up. Got a lovely punch that matches the stamp, and so I'm going to slide it through, line it up. When I'm happy that I have a nice even edge around the outside, I am going to squeeze my punch to punch it out. Next I'm going to use the Merry Christmas stamp to stamp my sentiment. What I'm also going to do is use this punch to create a nice border. If I place my stamp to the edge, it's too close because of my border punch that I want to use. This is what it looks like on the back. So I'm going to stamp next to the first stamp, press down, and again I'm going to slide the paper into the punch. When I'm happy with where it's placed, then I squeeze my punch and press. And there you go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a sponge, and I'm just going to ink the edges. So I lightly press down on the ink pad, hold my sentiment, and I just rub it along the edge, like so. I'm going to now put that to one side, create the holly leaves, and I have a special punch to do that, and I'm going to use the smaller one, and I'm going to use some green cardstock, and I'm going to slide this up just so I can see what I'm doing, and slide it under, and then press, slide it in again, and press. Punches are great. They're fast and they look amazing. My holly leaves aren't flat. I like them to have a bit of dimension, so to create that I simply hold the leaves in my hand and I just bend them up like so. Just bend the edges, and that makes it look 3D. And do the same for the other leaf. Just press it up and squeeze at the same time. And there you go. Now I'm going to use some glue, and I'm going to show you how to put this card together. So with the blank front, I'm going to close it, and I'm going to start by just roughly organising my pieces into a design that I like before I put any glue. I have learnt that if you glue too soon, sometimes things don't line up the way you want them, and it's too late to try and peel it off. So that will go there, the leaves go here, and my sentiment will go here. So I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do is use a glue stick, and I've got some foam shapes that will help us attach the bauble. And it also makes it stand out a little bit. It's not flat, makes it stand out. So I'm going to take my pieces off now that I'm happy, and I'm going to start by gluing these two pieces together. So just run the glue stick along the edges of the patterned paper, and then place it onto the first mat. Now when I'm happy with it, then I press down. Now I'm going to turn that over and do the same thing again with the glue stick. I'm going to place this onto my card, trying to leave an even white edge around the outside. And when I'm happy with it, I can just move it around a bit, press down. Okay, now I'm going to put some glue on the back of my punched border and place it on my card. Now I'm going to line it up with the red mat, and it should line up perfectly with the other side. When I'm happy, press down. Next I'm going to put some glue on the strip and place that on top. Not too close to the punch because I want that to show. Next I'm going to put some foam squares on the back of this bauble. Just 2 will do, and it has a liner, so I'll just peel that off and I will place that just a little bit on that border and then press down. I'm going to place the holly leaves next, and because this is raised I can slide it in just underneath. So with my glue stick, making sure that the sides I've bent are up, put a little bit of glue on the edge of the leaves, slide it in and press when I'm happy with its position. Do that again with the other side. Okay, and that's done. Next is my sentiment, and I'm just going to put some glue on the edge and glue some of it overlapping the pattern strip and the background. And there you go, that's the first card. The second card is similar. Now I just need to clean my stamps before we start because I'm going to be changing ink colours. And it's always a good idea to clean your stamps so that they last longer and work nicely. So I'll just put this back. For the second card, I'll put these aside. I used a different stamp and different coloured papers, so I'm going to get out the stamp that I need. This time I'm going to use a green combination, and the other steps are similar as well, so I will just get another card out, fold it in half. I will get my patterned paper and my mat, which are the same dimensions as the first card. So I'm just going to place things on my card just to double check. I'm happy with that, so I'm just going to glue those together. Again, just along the edge of the pattern paper, place it onto the mat, press down when I'm happy. Turn it over, put a bit of glue on the back, just along the edge, and place it on the front of my card. When I'm happy that I have an even white border along the outside, then I can press it down. Okay, so I'll just put that up here. Now I'm going to do the baubles, so I will get my ink pad ready. Same thing, ink up my stamp and press down, and using the punch, line it up around the stamp when I'm happy with it, punch it through. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Now I can tell that this is not going to fit this way, so I'm going to turn this around line up my punch with my sentiment, and when I'm happy, press. I have another sponge. I'm going to ink the edges of the stamped sentiment in the same way as before, just rubbing it along the edge. Now I will punch out the, so many punches, holly leaves. Like so. I need 2. Like before, I'm going to make it look 3D, so just squeeze it in and press to make it look 3D. Going with the second one. Squeeze it in. Now I'm going to put this card together. So again, just line things up. So roughly in the middle, like so. When I'm happy, use my glue stick, no, my 3D foam. Peel the back off. And place it onto my card. Place some glue on my sentiment. And again on the back of the holly leaves. And press them into place when I'm happy. Like so, and there you go, they're finished. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you give it a go. And these techniques can be used with different papers, different colours. You can change the position of where the holly leaves and the baubles are to a design that you like. You might even want to change the direction of your strip. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial. There's more information on my blog, and thanks for stopping by.